and immediately get that wall up. Wolves, though, just in front of them will make things difficult, especially with VP at your back. A nearby Valk ult will remain difficult, but this is where the nades come in clutch. You keep investing them, but we're currently out. Break out the R9 and let it sing.
Oh, what a thermite. Oh, no. Enter Force 36 take way too much damage from that.
What?
And they get wiped off the map.
So many people focus them. That's what happens when you land amongst multiple teams, and the Falcons, who challenge Legacy for their position, walk into a powerful spot. But we have to contend with VP, and what does Hal do? He does what he does best, immediately swings the wall, starts destroying it, trying to force them into using whatever they've got. And hey, not much, but I really like where we got Alb. I like this angle for Alb.
Not a whole lot of ammo, which actually could be a pretty big problem for Hot Dog Mafia. The same's gonna be true of this bow check. Limited ammo, no pickups unless Rambo's getting kills with it. So Hot Dog Mafia, if they want to win this game, are gonna have to find some kills pretty quickly. Falcons have rotated in just below them. And while this siege is good, it's really not finding any purchase, not putting any additional pressure onto the Falcons.
Wait a second. Is he going to invest the wall to jump to where Alb has already found himself? Because if that's the late game play, I keep my eyes on that. For Wolves, they get a full reset back to 3. Supernova are still across the way, directly in front of Hot Dog Mafia. But here we go. Crazy Kong and Donut coming back on in and inherited the spot that Enter Force 36 just held.
Supernova should be the next team to go down. There's just so much focus on them, even with a new Newcastle wall. Virtus Pro are really nearby, and even Wolves have a decent angle. The Thermite's not doing nearly to Wolves what they did to Enter Force 36, but you do have to be careful. Using the mobile shield can provide the perfect angle for Thermites to find purchase on you. Wolves will have to move soon. And look out, Hot Dog Mafia and Team Falcons, those are the favorites right now.
Well, so many people have used a ton of the lethals that they've held on to that we're going into this endgame with minimal. So much damage has been taken between the teams, between the lava, and now Falcons getting more kills onto Wolves.
Supernova still in a lot of danger. Hot Dog Mafia, as they run lower and lower on ammunition, need to make something happen, need to get a reset, but with only 4 squads left.
All right, Dia, hear me out. The last time we were in this area with Skittle Cakes on a Caustic, it was one of the nastiest end games that I've ever witnessed in my entire life. You know what clip I'm talking about at home. We could potentially see greatness here.
But he's only got 10% on the ult. No Caustic ult for Skittle Cakes makes a big difference for Hot Dog Mafia. It's about who really has the Caustic ult in these close quarters.
All right, Al back on height to heal up for now. It's going to be VP, Hardeki, and Falcons. Spider-Man memeing straight out to each other. The final 3 have emerged here, and match number 1, and Skittle Cakes keeps on diving down those canisters to keep the pressure onto those teams. At what point do you full send? They already have double digits points. We're just playing for the win for them.
Well, Hot Dog Mafia are going to have to fight somebody. I really like Abralele's position, though, just making sure that Falcons cannot step up, trying to force Falcons into VP, applying pressure from above. He actually gets sent, taking down Hal. Hot Dog Mafia are still going to lose one, but they've got Skittle Cakes on high ground, 52% on the ult. No Caustic ult for him. It'll have to be the barrels or nothing. He drops down into the mess of it, and may just take the win for Hot Dog Mafia!
Hot Dog Mafia, Rambo, Alb, Skittle Cakes.
Any of these, and that's a lot of utility expended onto Shopify Rebellion. It's bought enough time for Falcons to move up.
Going. We know what Zap does with that Sheila. He's going to make use of that, but we're going to open it up with the Thermites, try to connect, let the burn happen. What does this look like for us? Because if Zap hits a swing with the Sheila, times are changing. But Rampart v Rampart, Guild has one too. Destroy the wall.
Can help take down these walls, but you really want to avoid swinging into Zap. Instead, Guild takes him in the back, and Zap goes down.
Down goes Sheila, and Guild still crawling forward through the amped covers, through the galore, and it's Waltzy from the other side. We just need the finishing touch, and Shopify Rebellion have fallen. Team Falcons with a bit of stabilization. Elsewhere, E36, Wolves Esports are having a bit of the same bout that we just witnessed.
All those kills going to Waltzy earns Falcons an even better position in this zone. They gotta keep creeping up on Wolves, on E36.
Oh, snap. They're going for it. Alliance, they're moving on in. A ton of kills for the game from them. They want to win this, get those 12 placement points. And just like this, a Kraber as well. The amped covers, instead of barrel crawls, we're amped covering forward.
Nice dip out of Hawkins, just recognizing that, yeah, swinging into 2 people, that's not going to work. But look, Falcons have moved up.
I've seen this before. I've seen this before, and now the Arcstar's down, and Crazy Kong adds to the tally of a lifelong chase for 2K.
That Arcstar got zapped by the wall, so Howls does have to retreat back up. He doesn't have the additional pressure of the Arcstar, but Alliance are making all the use of the damage that Falcons poured down earlier. Enter Force 36 go down. We have 3 squads left, and Falcons on the high ground that Legacy held previously. I said, Tiff, Legacy could win the game as a duo. You have to imagine that the monstrous Team Falcons, should be able to win from this high ground.
It's very similar to the match number 1 ending with Hot Dog Mafia on high ground in the south. This time in the north, it's Team Falcons from Skyhook West to the Chaos over here on the east. And now, what do you do other than try to keep pressure onto the Wolves in Alliance? You force that fight, and then you look for the third party.
Ultimately, Falcons can stay on this high ground as long as they like. What they really have to be careful of are the abductions. Alliance are already trying to start laying them down right ahead of them. Some Sky Nades, not finding anything, especially with the Rampart walls providing cover from above. But Guilds, he's providing something else from above.
Yeah, that'll work. That'll do it. But I see what you're talking about. Immediately, once they step forward, they're going to get sucked down towards Alliance. So trying to avoid, if we could place a wall in front of it so we don't cross that threshold. But Guild still reaping the damage onto Wolves. There it goes. They're able to move forward and keep the high ground.
You want Alliance to fight Wolves. You cannot afford to be the focus. Will they enter each other's sidelines first? It appears so. Rampart walls, Newcastle wall still available as well. Early slam coming out of Waltzy as he goes down to the ground, taking angles on both teams and ultimately getting fried for it. Wolves are going to commit though. Waltzy is still alive. Waltzy is a fortress and his guild drops down. He's going to get taken out. It's just Hal against the triple man of Alliance who take game number 2.
Alliance, who are banking off the back of the momentum, but we move forward. Now, we look for a position to play, and you get this open area. North's still looking good, right? I like this.
I mean, it's tough.
Oh, no.
Falcons are in a rough position, but Alliance, they don't look like it's too easy either. It's been a 1-for-1 trade so far.
Wait, he's got
but Hackett has to swing this to deny the res. Alliance don't have the luxury of sitting back and watching this happen. P2020 is in hand. We'll see what they do as Grow get pushed by Falcons. Guild goes down.
Well, Hal on the low ground here, just kind of situated by the lava. It's a solo play for now, and Go Next sets their sight onto Grow Gaming. Now, Grow Gaming did not have a ton of points from the first 2 matches that are Sal setting their sights onto the top 10. For the south side, though, it's a fact, it's a car, and he takes down Shopify Rebellion.
Beck's going to be spotted, though. Falcons have reset on the low ground, and it will be Falcons and Alliance that have to fight. Still having access to the high ground with Alter. Grow Gaming are the ones that are backing away. Alliance go down as Falcons escort them out. 3 squads left. Go Next, Grow, and Falcons from the low ground.
And Go Next and Grow Gaming are getting scrappy up here. The timing of when Falcons move in on this is going to be imperative, but for now, Light being that entry, Dia.
Go Next have got to stay coordinated. They've got to let Kinda enable the squad right now. Light ends up pushing forward, does a lot of damage, takes out Grow Gaming, and that leaves just 1 squad left. 1 squad, Falcons!
And it's the Falcons, and they're on the prowl. Hal takes a ton of damage, he falls. It's Waltzy, it's Guild, and they're swinging. Things are getting messy, diving through the death boxes of Doom, and they are playing to perfection here in the winner's round. The Falcons get a win.
On very, very early, and Lou is going to be forced to expend that bubble on Gibraltar. Defensive bombardment goes down to try and flush TSM away, and he's actually going to push them back a little bit. But while all of this is going on that southern side, Fnatic still trying to push, still have to make a play here against Grow Gaming.
Oblivion could pick up a lot of kills here, looking south, by the way, but Fnatic, what a recovery this has been from a skyward dive, being aggressive, and they are still pushing in, still finding damage.
Great movement again, making himself such a difficult target here, Yuka. But he will fall. Go Next will fall as a team as we move into our top 6 now, and it looks like Fnatic will be able to reset yet again, but Yuka down to very low health. Colonel Garcia with no shields whatsoever. And Grow Gaming down on the knees, looking to crawl away.
All the meanwhile, you've got this fight going between VP, TSM, and Oblivion. Oblivion do get eliminated, though. 5 squads remain as Virtus Pro still hold on to the top, but now they're joined by Fnatic.
MT might have just fallen into trouble, but no, instead he's going to decimate the remaining members of Fnatic, but Libel Ace somehow or other still survives, still stands haul here for Fnatic, and even with Yuka and Colonel Garcia down, surrounding him, it looks like there's a possibility of a res, but Gen G, they are now kings of the castle. They are standing above them.
Gen G have noticed them as well. Lovelace just has to now do as much damage as possible to delay and hope someone else pushes Gen G, and then maybe you can get the res. What fantastic work this has been from Fnatic, by the way. Ever since that Skyward dive. Look at Grow. Grow's still a 3.
Two members, by the way, of Grow were downed. They crawled away and somehow got the res. Fnatic will be eliminated as we're now down to our final 3. It's Gen G Esports, Grow Gaming, and TSM who'll make your top 3.
Gen G have that Mad Maggie. Wrecking Ball 4% away. And a chance to ruin someone's day and maybe take another victory for this squad who has been so impressive all tournament long for me.
That double tap alternator also in the hands of Gen G. That thing can rip away his shields and flesh. EMP goes in. TSM maybe looking to play for second here onto Grow Gaming. Panic Esports. Oh my! That's going to be Grow Gaming almost single-handedly dealt with by Panic. But in a 2v3 scenario, Gen G should be able to make light work of this, but this is Panic we're talking about. This is Panic we're talking about. He can't get it done. Gen G do close out. And even though the young man gave it his all, it's looking to create a little bit of carnage with that portal as Fnatic will creep up and just use this crevice off the tracks to try and survive. One good thing for them, Colonel Garcia is still alive on the rampart. There's something to play with as Gen G will not go back to back. They will fall next.
Sadly, the rampart has fallen though. And I don't think there's going to be long living for Fnatic. They'll be eliminated down to just 3 squads now. TSM, Legacy, and enter Force 36. Remember, they were down to 1. They got the respawn, and now they are dead center of this zone with rampart walls.
Only problem is there's only 2 of them to hold this space. Can they force Legacy and TSM to engage with each other and pick off the pieces? Yanya's going to swing. Just up. Is holding that minigun they call Sheila proudly in his hands, trying to force away anyone who's trying to peek.
This win would mean so much more for E36 or Legacy, who are currently in 11th and 12th, as Synap is getting respawned again. Enter Force 36 will not go down, will not die. It seems to be happening every single time we see them in this tournament. They just survive, survive, survive.
Couple of boxes for NF Force 36 to play with, and Synap is going to be able to grab a few attachments, which is certainly going to help him, especially that blue light bag that he finds to output damage onto these heavily shielded players surrounding him.
There goes Panic.
Panic gets the ball down, but Panic will fall. He will go down as TSM now engage with Legacy, and that could open the door here for E36 to step in and walk straight through, Dan.
This is exactly what E36 want, and look, they can play the other side of the rock. Legacy are still a full 3 though. TSM have not been able to reset, but now Duplex could change everything if he goes around the western side.
Duplex is down though. Synap with that 30-30 is going to make sure that he is not a problem. It's a 3v3v1. TSM as the 1, TSM as the none. Eliminated now, it's a 3v3 to win this game.
A chance to put yourself further up in this leaderboard. It could be the defining moment of staying alive in this tournament.
E36 on the main stage here in Sapporo, looking to add another win to their collection. End of Force 36 just need to find one. Yanya is down, Jaguares is down, Neozul. We're gonna hunt you, we're gonna find you, and we're gonna put you in the dirt. End of Force 36 will be your champions.
They just have a never say die attitude, just like the group stages. When you think they're done, when you think they're dusted, they find a way to escape. Virtus Pro up into 10th place. Wolves Esports down into the elimination bracket round 2. They will not survive. That push was not worth it in the end.
Fnatic in 12th. 5 points behind Grow Gaming, who are out of the lobby, remember. VP's still in. And Fnatic safe inside of these trenches. Go Next, though, that's the worry for them. Go Next will have the high ground, but it's such a risk, and Go Next are making that move up onto the position. VP on your screens right now, into the top 5 we find ourselves.
Into the top 8 now.
Look at the passion from Lou, by the way.
Shopify Rebellion have just dropped down into 9th place. Grow Gaming down into 10th. Fnatic and Supernova could still ruin the day of Grow Gaming and Shopify Rebellion. And still I'm gonna say it, S8UL are still alive, but they would need to get every single kill left in this lobby. Looking unlikely for them, but it's the hometown heroes of Fnatic. Just 4 points away from catching up Grow Gaming now. A few more kills, a couple more placements. Can they make the Sapporo Dome erupt for them?
VP under pressure here, trying to deal with S8UL stuck behind this pill. Jesco a little bit isolated himself. Slayer doesn't fancy it. He jumps into the void and returns to the safety of his two teammates. EMP start going off. Fnatic are under pressure here. Live Blaze is down. Yuka has to jump into the void. Will be safe. Go next might not be. He's on his own. The P20s are singing, but Fnatic are eliminated. They will be in the elimination bracket. They will not make it directly to match point finals.
It is now just down to Supernova to try and send themselves into the match point finals. They need to win here.
Supernova could be drinking champagne at the end of this one. Luke gets absolutely ripped. Hardeki goes down into 2v2. And now it's a 1v